1973. Her solo show Aviary features work created over the past 50 years and includes bas relief, drawing, painting, collage, kinetic sculpture, and photo transfer, all united by wonder and reverence for winged creatures.
Really?
Mary Curtis, it's such an honor
Oh,
to introduce
thank you.
And before Mary Curtis will talk, I just want to say, I forgot that, the bathrooms are all the way in the back to the right, so just in case you need to go. We will take questions at the end of her talk.
Yeah.
And this will be recorded, so I would like to invite everybody to be very quiet because the space really amplifies all sounds.
Thank you, Monica.
Beyond thrilled to see everyone here. It's just really marvelous. Thank you so much all for coming. And I'm going to do something I don't usually do. Usually I go around and I talk about each piece. We can talk about individual pieces later, but first of all I'd like to talk about why this show actually interests me. One of the reasons why is because of the high ceiling here. I'm able to use not just a band of work around it, 63 inches in the middle, but I'm able to go up high with these dream wings here. I'm able to go up high with feather hoops. This is a piece I did in 1974. This is the oldest piece. And also in the back, if you turn around and look, you'll see a piece called Pelican Landings. And those are pelicans, photographs of pelicans I took and then drew onto a vinyl substrate and then collaged them onto stainless steel frames. So there's a height, and then in the back, the murmuration, you'll see the birds go all the way down almost to the floor. So I'm able to use the whole height of the gallery. And another thing that interests me about this show is the use of color. Because if you turn around and look at Martha the Messenger here, you begin to see blue. And then blue tracks to the dream wings, and then it tracks up to the Pelican Landings, and then it tracks over to the murmuration, and then it tracks to this print, which is called Two Birds. There's some blue in that. And it actually goes all the way out to these other pieces here. And also, there's darker kind of blues and grays. You start here, and they go through these photographs here. There's grays, and this turns into silver here. And in the dream wings here, there's grays and coppers. And also that it tracks over to Two Birds. And then if you jump over behind Sarah, there's this piece is called Raven. That was also done from photographs and paint and drawing. And then you can wrap the gray into Martha the Messenger. This happens to be an homage to Martha, who is the last carrier pigeon in this country, who died in 1927 in the Chicago Zoo. Who knew? Anyway, here she is, and I decided to make her the messenger, and then using airplanes all over the place, and then stamps, because they convey messages all over the world. So that was the reason for that. And then another thing that I'm interested in is the use of materials, because I have painting and drawing. There's a lot of drawing. And bas relief, which is the dream wings here, where
It comes off the wall physically. And collage. This piece is called Parakeets, and I did that from, remember in the 50s and the 60s, there were these big books of samples of paper, wallpaper samples. And the thing that I found really interesting about it is that they came in the exact same pattern, but they were in a different color combination. So that's what I did with I have a series of these cake pieces, and that's what that is from. So there's that, and then feathers. These feathers I found on Baker Beach in San Francisco in 1973, and I didn't know what to do with them, but I just grabbed them. It's like you just know that someday you'll do something. And so I put these together, and for a show that I had in 1974, and they're pelican feathers. So they're kind of old and they're getting a little ratty, but don't look too closely. And then another feather piece is behind Peter. It's called Cockatoo. And that was because we had a friend at that time in the 80s that had a cockatoo, and he was just throwing the feathers away. And I said, no, don't throw the feathers away, give them to me. And so after a while, I got enough feathers. The thing is, it's important for me in this case to do a gradation. You have to go from small to a little bigger, bigger, and then back up into very small. However, the contradiction is, of course, this one, which are duck feathers. I did this in 2024. They're almost all the same size. So I just contradicted myself. Who cares? Now, hi. So that's what interests me, the idea of not pushing the same button all the time. That I'm interested in something, and I have these ideas that just float through my head, and I think, okay, how could I make that? Is it a painting? Is it a drawing? Is it a sculpture? Is it bas-relief? Is it a collage? What is it? And then I start designing around that idea, and come up with all sorts of things that you might think these were done by different artists. You might. But they're not. So